Welcome to another First Glimpse video. I just took delivery of several items for the Free League game Vaesen, or Vaesen, as I believe it's called, but we're going to call it Vaesen because that's what works for me. First up is the starter set. This just came out. They had a Kickstarter, I think it was last year, and the physical products just shipped. Like I said, I just got them today. I've taken the cellophane off. I haven't looked at it. So we've got some dice. You can use regular six-sided dice. These just have a special symbol on the 6. And in the Year Zero engine games, you're just trying to roll 6s. So regular D6s will work. You've got initiative cards. Rather than rolling a dice for initiative, there's a deck of cards. You draw them and go in ascending order, 1, 2, 3, and so on. And then got your silica, your catalog, and then let's take a look. Oh, there's a lot of stuff in here. Okay. So first up, we've got a getting started page. Just says, decide who's going to be the game master, so on, and then for further adventures, go here. And then the mythic level backers. I was not one of those, but very cool that they get a shout out there. We've got the rules. This is definitely a short version of the rules. 16 pages of rules. Vaesen's not hard to play. Honestly, 16 pages is really all you need to describe the system. This most likely will not have character creation. This likely doesn't explain anything about the history of the society or the Vaesens in general. So let's just take a quick flip through of these rules and see what they cover. We've got an example of play here, as well as just enough to explain what is a Vaesen, what is the site, what is a role-playing game, the full game, and then we get into the characters. Yeah, it covers everything on here. So your motivation, your trauma, your dark secret, your different core attributes and skills, talents, your gear, and a memento. So that's the whole game is just based on that. And when you make a roll, you roll a number of six-sided dice equal to your attribute score plus your relevant skill score for that, or the attribute for that skill. And you just need 1 6 generally. Talents will give you modifiers or may let you do things that you wouldn't normally be able to do. Here's how to play. 6s mean success. People can help. Up to 3 other players can help to give you an additional +3 dice on your roll. You can get extra successes that can do additional things like extra damage. And then if you fail, pushing. Talks about pushing a roll. You can re-roll, and but you take a condition. And conditions are basically your hit points in this game. So if you take 4 physical conditions, you're physically broken, or 4 mental conditions, you're mentally broken, and then you need help or you're out of commission. The artwork is amazing. I mean, Free League just knocks it out of the park with artwork, and Vaesen is absolutely one of their top artistic games. Combat is basically like draw a card. You can swap initiative. It doesn't use ranges in like meters or feet. It's zones, like close, near, far, things like that. Are you in this? Are you right next to someone? Are you in the same room? Are you a few rooms away? Like that. You also get a slow and a fast action. Slow is basically attacking, and fast is typically going to be your reaction, dodging or parrying. But there's other things that you can do. There should be a chart. Looks like there's not a chart. There is in the core rules for like different things for slow and fast. But that's what most people will do is use the slow action to attack or make another skill roll, and use the fast action to try and dodge or parry. Weapons, range, dodging and parrying, getting out of combat, and then damage. And again, this is your conditions, and if you take too many conditions, you become broken, and then you need someone to help you. Medicine roll if you are physically broken, or inspiration roll if you're mentally broken. And then fear is a special kind of roll. You make either a logic or an empathy roll, and if you don't get enough successes, then you, kind of like Call of Cthulhu, you have a bout of terror, and you might flee, freeze, faint, go into a frenzy, things like that. And then how to recover your conditions, and that's it. That's really the rules. So that's actually really cool. I mean, you could learn this in 10 minutes. I actually just taught it to you. You know how to play now. That's essentially it. And then we get an adventure, The Haunting of Castle. I always call it Gillenkreutz, but I don't speak Swedish, so I don't know how that's pronounced. But The Haunting of the Castle. A lot of times I'll just call it The Castle. This is short as well, maybe a dozen pages. Yeah, 12 pages. A very cool map on the back. Now, I don't want to spoil the adventure, so we're just going to look at just kind of the beginning, for GM's eyes only. There's an overview. The way that these are typically set up is you will have some background. You'll have an invitation, which is how the characters get drawn into the mystery, and a mystery is what they call the adventures. And then you'll have, so here's the background invitation, and then you'll have like typically the journey. So this is called To the Castle. So there's a journey, and then you've got some locations, and you've got clues, and there is typically a confrontation that will take place, and oftentimes there's a countdown. And the countdown is how, as a game master, that you, one, pace the game, which I think that's the most important way to use the countdown, is pacing, but also the escalation of things. Very cool. This looks like definitely an easier one to run. I'm going to give it a shot for sure. This is what I was excited about, this Codex Occultum. This is like the player's guide to the Vaesen. And the Vaesen are supernatural, mythological creatures from Swedish folklore that people with the sight, which would be all of the characters, that they can see and interact with. Other people might see them as like a force of nature, like a strong wind, whereas someone with the sight might actually see a creature causing that. So this is really cool. It's set up to show you the different sorts of Vaesen. It does not give you the stats. You'll find this in the Vaesen book, but it gives you like how to get rid of them, how to banish them. So in the game, that's one key part of the mystery, is what is the creature, the Vaesen, that is causing this, and how do we get rid of it? And so this book kind of helps you get some ideas on how to banish these different Vaesen. Typically, you cannot best them in combat. It's nigh impossible. They're creatures of supernatural make, and they are, for most intents and purposes, they are invulnerable to physical harm. But you can banish them through ritual or through some sort of action that you can undertake. So very cool to give you kind of that information on here of the different Vaesen. These are player aids. Tells you how to do skill tests about actions, dodging and parrying. It's like there's 4 of those. That's handy. Handouts for the adventure, and again, I don't want to spoil too much here, but just the quality on this is really cool. And it's labeled what the handout is. Mine's got a little bit of damage. This looks like maybe an old, like a page from the text. And then we've got the pre-generated characters. I'm assuming we're going to have 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of them. Torun Matzes, Franz Nordenfliegt, Otto Nystrom, Selma Nilsdotter, and Rasmus Frisk. Very cool. And then a map. So this looks like a map of the, two maps. A map of the castle. And then a map of the mythic north, Sweden and Scandinavia, and where the game takes place. So that's fantastic. This looks like an excellent way to get into the game, as well as inexpensive. The dice themselves are expensive just to buy the dice. The retail price on this set, I'm actually not sure. I'm looking at the box. It does not say on the box. I don't know what this retails at. Maybe 25 to 40 bucks, I would assume. The dice, you're going to pay like probably $15 just for the dice. So excellent value for money. The Vaesen Starter Set. Yeah, give this a thumbs up. Thanks, everybody.